All right. This week's Torah portion is Parshas Tzave. And it starts off like this. Let me see if I can find you the picture here of what this looks like, this week's Torah portion. Here it is. Oh, good. So let's just look at the first two sentences and then we can expound. We can explain what this means in a Hasidic viewpoint, namely what it means to us today. What are we supposed to learn from this? And the most important thing that there is in life, and that is to connect to the creator of the universe, to feel the creator. You know, it says that in the future, when Moshiach comes, there's not going to be any more religions. There won't be any more religions. The Jews will do the Torah, and the non-Jews will do what's called 7 Noahide commandments, which is not a religion. It's just connecting to God all the time and believing in God and not doing what God doesn't want. God doesn't want murder. He doesn't want sexual deviations. He doesn't want, that's what's going to be in the future. But what's the point? That everyone will recognize God. And it's not that hard because God is creating everybody. So the God that's creating you is infinitely close to you. It's not some, some star or some angel or somebody that used to be alive or something. So everyone will feel, that's called the living God. Everybody will feel God is creating them. And that you can feel. I mean, you can feel that you're alive for sure. You can feel that. And you can feel the source of this life. That's the idea, but that's a little bit harder. So that's what's wrong with what's called idolatry. It says that Abraham, he broke all of the idols. The first Jew, he broke all the idols in the world. People were worshiping all sorts of things, and they were worshiping other people, and they were worshiping powers and stars and things. And Abraham broke them all. So you can ask, what business did he have of messing in people's private lives? How can you break somebody's idols? Right? Who gives you the permission to do that? And why did he do it? So the answer is he did it to benefit them, because all that a person thinks about these idols, he's not thinking about his creator. He's not thinking about where his life is coming from. He's not thinking about returning what he owes to his creator for creating it. Instead, he's just thinking about himself all the time and how he can get the most, how he can get the biggest benefits of being selfishness. So idolatry is selfishness. And ideally, that's what happened when Adam ate from the tree of knowledge. He became selfish. So the idea is that we're supposed to be appreciative of the creator. And that's what Chassidut does. It makes us appreciative of the creator. And we can do it by means of a book. There's a book that the creator himself wrote. The creator himself wrote a book. And he gave it to 3 million people. That's what Judaism is based on. A bit fantastic story. But this has been passed down for the last 3,300 years since God gave the Torah on Mount Sinai, that God gave it to 3 million people, that he took them all out of Egypt. That's pretty amazing. God himself. So if you want to really serve God, you have to understand what this book, the Torah, is telling us. And a lot of times it seems to be telling us things that just aren't relevant to us at all. And here, this week's Torah portion, we're going to see it's an example. But it's not so. Everything is relevant and vital and essential to us and our identity and our purpose in life and to make us happy. So let's see what it is. Here we go. This is how this week's Torah portion starts off. God speaks to Moses. Now, in general, last week's Torah section that we learned was Parshas Truma. That talked about the vessels of the tabernacle, and the tabernacle itself, the building of the tabernacle, and the vessels. And this week's Torah portion talks about the garments that the Kohanim, the priests, and especially the high priest, the Kohen Gadol, that he wore. That's what this week is talking about. The vessels that the Kohanim, the garments of the Kohanim. But it starts off, interestingly, it doesn't talk about the garments at all. It talks about this. Let's go. Va'ata, and you. God is speaking to Moses. Now, this happens to be the only Torah portion in the whole Torah, after Moses was born, of course, that doesn't have Moses' name in it. Every other Torah portion has Moshe's name in it. And this is the only one that does not. And we'll talk about that in the Devar Malchut class, which is going to be right after this one. Here we go. This week's Torah portion. Ready? Yes. Here we go. The Ata, God speaks to Moses, and Ata, and you. Tzave, command at Bnei Israel, the Jewish people, V'yikchu, and they should take elecha to you, shemen, oil, zayat, olive oil, zach, pure olive oil, katit, that has been crushed up, lamor, for the lamp, the menorah in the Beit HaMikdash. Lamor, more means the source of light. Lalot ner tamid, that there should be a fire burning constantly. Huh? Okay, let's just repeat that in English. God is saying to Moses, doesn't say Moses' name, the whole Torah portion doesn't say Moses' name, but says, you command the Jewish people that they should bring to you pure olive oil that was crushed up for the source of light, the menorah, lalot ner tamid, that there should go up a constant flame. Next sentence. Constant flame. The Oel Moed, in the Oel Moed, Oel Moed means in the Kodesh. The Kodesh, you know that, remember that whole tent that was in, remember we learned last week? The inner part of that tent, the inner third of that tent, was the ark with the tablets. And then there was a veil called a prochet, and the outer 2/3, that's where the candelabra, the menorah was, and the incense, the incense altar, golden altar, and the table with the bread on it, with the 12 loaves of face bread was on it, lechem apanim. Is that in the Oel Moed, michutz leparechot, outside of this veil that divides between the holy and the holy, asher alo edut, which is on the which separates between the ark with the tablets in it, edut are the tablets of testimony. Yaroch ar oto, and it was outside of the Holy of Holies, outside of the tent, which separates the Holy of Holies and the Holy. Right, the area which was called the Holy, that's called the Oel Moed, the tent of meeting. That's where the candelabra was, and Aaron and his sons should light it me'erev ad boker, from the evening until the morning. Hey, one second, we just said in the previous sentence that it has to be lit all the time. Tamid. And we said here that the Jewish people have to take it to Moses. Why did they have to take it to Moses? I mean, Aaron is the one that lights it. Let them take them to Aaron. No, God said, they should take it to you. There's oil to you. And the candle should go up constantly. The flame should go up constantly. Constantly. And where should it be? Outside of the room where the tablets were. And who should light it? Aaron and his sons, not Moses. Why did they take it to Moses? Okay, we'll see. How should it light? We said before, it should light up constantly. Here it says no, just from the evening until the morning. Hey, what's going on? The Rebbe will ask this question also. Lifnei ad Hashem, in front of God. Chukat olam l'dorotam, an eternal statute for all of your generations. Me'et b'nei Yisrael, from the Jewish people. Well, how can it be eternal? There's no temple. What does it mean it's eternal? Temple. So there's going to be a third temple. In any case, the laws of the Torah are eternal. Nobody can change them. So whether there's a temple or not, it still is an eternal law. The law is there eternally. Can we do it? Well, the fact is that we will do it in the third temple, but we'll also do it right now after we finish reading what the Rebbe has to say, how each one of us is a holy temple, and what is the menorah inside of us, and who is Aaron, and how Aaron is going to light us up from the evening until the morning, and it's also going to be constant. We'll see how this will be in just 1 minute. Here we go. All right, this is in Torah Or. This is the book Torah Or. I hope everyone can see this, right? Yes, huh? You can see. Because sometimes I click and I push and I do and I move, and the picture doesn't come up, and I don't know it until later.